Welcome back, everybody. It is time for the final match of today. It'll be a best of 3 ZVZ between Zaraki and True Touch.
Yes, it will indeed. So Zaraki's had to fight hard to get his way through to here, but just had to take out Freeman to make up for his first round loss to True Touch. But I'm sure we all remember that. Very, very, very strange game in the first round. It was, of course, a best of one, and Zaraki throwing down the rather unusual proxy hatch kind of thing. And it just basically went horribly wrong for him. And he didn't seem to commit to the strategy. So hopefully he's going to learn from that one. And he's going to take some real commitment into these games. Because he's going to need to go at it hammer and tongs in order to actually deal with True Touch here.
Indeed, and he will have another chance on Polaris Rhapsody. We are going on this map again for the first map. So it'll be interesting to see if he tries that again. I highly doubt he's going to proxy hatch again. In which case it'll be interesting to see what other strategy he has prepared here. Zaraki is actually in the chat, by the way, now. We can even ask him, Zaraki, what were you thinking? Proxy hatch without going all in? I mean, it was sort of all in, but why would you go lair? Why would you go lair off a proxy hatch? I guess it must have been a fake lair. I don't know.
But then making mutas is pretty inexplicable because there's no point if it's a fake.
Yeah.
Surely.
I mean, I guess it was just like the emergency backup in case the Ling all in didn't work, which it didn't. Because he attacked down the ramp and thus kind of negated his own Ling advantage. Anyway, we've got a new series here. Zaraki has another chance. He can still redeem himself, so going into game 1. Alright, at the bottom right position as the yellow Zerg, we have True Touch. Top left as the red Zerg, we have Zaraki. Now, of course, as we said, True Touch did get the better of Zaraki in game 1, despite Zaraki having what I thought should have been a pretty big advantage there with the proxy hatch. However, we also did just see True Touch get smashed by Zeke, despite both of them, I think, going mirror builds in both games as well. So I'm not quite sure how his confidence is in his ZVZ right now. So maybe this is the chance for Zaraki to take advantage.
Yeah, very, very possible. I don't like to write off Zaraki too quickly because you know he could have something interesting up his sleeve, and there's always a chance he's going to be able to take on True Touch. We can see so far from True Touch games today that he is not immaculate. He can be prone to certain mistakes. Even on this map, making that particular error where he let the Lings into his main, he is susceptible to such things. It is possible. So maybe, even though Zaraki obviously not quite of the caliber of Zeke, maybe he can find a similar opening and take advantage of it.
Yeah, that would be quite interesting. I mean, you know, we don't see proxy hatch yet, so that's good.
Yeah, well, imagine trying that twice.
It looks like we do have a 12 something from both players. It'd be interesting if we see 12 pool versus 12 pool again, like we did in True Touch versus Zeke. We are in fact going to have 12 pool from Zaraki and from True Touch as well. Cool.
Yeah, very good. So mirroring each other exactly. Who's ahead? Who's ahead? Let's play the little mini game. It looks like Zaraki just slightly ahead there. And as we've already seen from the games with Zeke, the guy who's very slightly ahead in builds in the other game will win. So it's a foregone conclusion. Zaraki's got this.
Way goes Zaraki.
He's winning the mini games. I can say that much.
You see, this makes more sense though, because he's spawning with the minerals on the left, whereas True Touch was behind with the minerals on the left. Like minerals left should be good for ZVZ because of the larva trick where you can push your larva to the left side of the hatchery.
Yeah, that is true.
Anyway, looks like hatcheries going down for both players, all that good jazz. Overlord's heading over. I'm gonna have to wait a couple of minutes now to see what happens. Now, it'll be interesting to see which player, or whether there's a divergence in who gets speed first and who gets lair first. So True Touch obviously tried to go lair first against Zeke and it didn't work out for him. I still think lair first is a good choice on this map, given how it should be fairly easy to defend this natural. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it should be fairly simple, and nothing's ever, you can't take anything quite ever for granted. But yeah, it should be fairly secure for both of these guys, and yeah, neither of them looking too incredibly aggressive. Although we do have some extra links coming out from Zaraki, while True Touch is taking the opportunity to drone a little bit more, so that could be kind of interesting. Maybe Zaraki has something a little bit more aggressive in mind.
Yeah, we do actually also have speed first from both players, so neither going to take the slight risk of going there first, but you know, they're both just kind of dancing around. Well, actually, no, Zaraki's not even dancing around, he's just chilling by his natural. He knows he doesn't really need to do anything. True Touch is the one just messing around in the middle of the map. Not really going to do anything though, nothing too useful. Interestingly, it does mean that his Overlord needs to kind of chill at Zaraki's natural, so he sees if his Zerglings move out and he doesn't get caught out in the middle of the map. But other than that, doesn't really matter. So we do have the layers on the way now. It looks like we're just going to go straight to Spire.
Yeah, as expected. I don't think we're going to see any kind of crazy aggression coming out of Zaraki. Maybe he's tempted to do a little bit of something. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be going out. He's got quite a few lings out on the map right now. And True Touch is just going to be forced to make a few more. Maybe a Sunken Colony on the cards as well, possibly. Who knows? We could see something like that in his main, or in his natural rather. So. But no, it looks like Zaraki isn't too interested in doing anything like that. Just forcing a few more lings with the sheer possibility of pushing out.
Yep, indeed. And 2 lings still just chilling here at the 12 o'clock position for True Touch, just waiting for an opportunity to move in. He's just chilling with his Overlord, hoping the lings of Zaraki move out. He's like, please go and attack me so I can counter and backstab you. But Zaraki looks like he's wise to that. Zaraki even should like try to check for these lings, but wasn't quite able to find them. So yeah, he's still just gonna be careful here. While spy timing is basically the same, no real advantage for either player. Overlord's now gonna skedaddle out of the base to try and avoid getting picked off by the initial mutas. And yeah, looks like basically just a 1 supply difference, no big deal.
Skedaddle is not a word you can use for overlords. It sounds so kind of speedy. Overlord, you can skedaddle out of here and it's lumbering around the map. I love it.
I guess that's true. Yeah,
it's great usage. No, I like it because it gives such a funny image of overlords, which is important because otherwise they're just ridiculous if they're not funny. But we do have the Ling attack coming down now, and it is going to be coming from the high ground. So Zaraki might be slightly surprised by it. True Touch might be slightly surprised by this, but Zaraki, I don't think he has a favourable engagement position right there. He got a little bit caught on the right flank, and he is going to get vastly overwhelmed. In the end of the battle right there, and it's going to be
2-link counterattack. It's going to get 1 drone. It's going to get 2 drones. Oh, not quite yet, but they're still alive, and they're causing a lot of lost mining times here. It looks like he's going to go after a second one. No, doing some really good micro here. Also counterattacking with the main link force at the front. Now going after the gas drones. I think he might get a second one. No, link's popping out, so maybe. Yep, Zaraki is going to chase these 2 links out, but here's the big counterattack. Can Zaraki hold on here? Let's see, 29 supply against just 20.
It looks like
he's going to get caught.
He's going to get caught at the top of his own ramp, and that could be a little bit dangerous. So I don't see how he's ever really going to be able to get back down there. The hatchery is done for sure. I can't even imagine how he's planning to get down there and defend that. He looks kind of tempted. Musos will not be enough. He doesn't have high enough DPS. It takes so many hits to even kill a Ling. It's just not going to happen. And Zaraki's going to have to waste plenty of Lings trying to get to the bottom of his own ramp. But the havoc might be... No, it looks like he's definitely going to go down. His Ling's doing easily enough. And Zaraki in big trouble now. True Touch in a commanding position. No Scourge making their way all the way through. Boom! Landing straight on the first Mutalisk.
Yeah, that's a pretty serious error by Zaraki to pull his entire Link force back to deal with 2 Zerglings. I have no idea what he was thinking there. I don't know if that was just because he had them all on control group and he's like, hey, let me just 1A back into my main. But that should not really happen there. I mean, should have said like 3 Links chasing the 2 and left everything else at his natural. But now he's pretty much dead, I would say. No natural. I mean, he lost the initial Muta as well, so he has no possible air superiority. 30 supply for True Touch against 25 for Zaraki. The only slight advantage Zaraki has, I think he's got a few more Zerglings on the ground because he killed so many in that attack. But I don't think that's really going to make a difference here. You can even see True Touch supplementing now with some more Zerglings of his own.
Yeah, I think that's entirely reasonable thing to do. So he's got enough to lead that he can just kind of play it nice and safe. We have the natural gas coming in for True Touch now, so this is where the Muta count starts to get a little bit out of control once he gets that up and running. Now we have a couple of Scourge coming in for Zaraki, though. He may be able to get a couple of hits with True Touch microing really solidly, and Zaraki's Scourge pressure actually comes to nothing in the end, and he's just forced to retreat again. We just had a little bit of a Ling battle in the middle as well, and it looks like True Touch came out definitely on top of that. All his Lings are making their way towards Zaraki's main base, where there are no defensive Lings anymore, so I can only imagine that battle was a landslide victory for True Touch. We're going to have some decent Mutamicro in here now, just to keep Zaraki alive for a little bit longer, but he's going to be in so much trouble against these Scourge, and he's going to have to abandon his drones to tend the fate of those Zerglings, and all his drones are basically dead at this point. This is super nasty for him. He's doing the best he can, but he just does not have the music count to take down these Lings quickly enough.
Yep, and Zaraki went from dead to deader. He somehow even got supply blocked while that was going on, despite losing all his drones. Yeah, 15 is 9 supply, not ideal. I was gonna kill an Overlord. Hey, he killed an Overlord, so now they're both supply blocked.
He landed one of his Scourge on that Overlord as well, which seems slightly
that's bad.
A mistake. Yeah, that's not great. When Mutas could have done the trick just as well, but it looks like he's gonna get intercepted here as well. He needs to stand and fight. He cannot escape. Stand and fight and be countered. Zaraki has to do a little bit of chasing. True Touch probably going to be in the superior position right here though, and Zaraki, yeah, he's got one Mutas left, and that's it.
GG!
GG!
True Touch takes game number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that went badly when Zaraki did that huge attack and lost and got backstabbed at the same time.
Yeah, that was pretty much where it all went to hell for poor Zaraki. The attack was he attacked into basically an established concave. It wasn't that well established, but it was established nonetheless. True Touch had the defensive position. He was well prepared, but Zaraki went for it anyway. I guess he felt like he had no real choice other than just to take his chances, but not a good engagement at all. And meanwhile, losing his drones back at home, that's really where it all went south for him. There's just no possible way back into it from that point on.
Indeed. So, yeah, that's alright though. It's still a best of 3. Zaraki is not out yet, but he is going to have to win 2 games now against True Touch if he wants to advance. Otherwise, True Touch, with just one more victory, will make it through to the round of 8. Who will advance? Find out after the break.
Be right back.